new line of Macs just officially unveiled, and these new Macs are different with a main processor that's designed by Apple rather than Intel. So this is a new big brain in the Mac, an integrated chip that Apple is calling the M1. It's going to power a new MacBook Air, which Apple says is faster than 98% of PC laptops sold in the last year. The price there, $999. Apple also introduced a new Mac Mini, a faster version that's now going to cost $699. So that's about $100 lower than the previous version. And Apple unveiled a new 13-inch MacBook Pro, saying it has the longest battery life ever in a Mac, studio quality mics, helpful since so many more people are taking those work calls from home. The price there, $1299. You can order these Macs starting today, and Apple says they're available next week. Of course, investors right now paying a lot of attention to that Mac. It's a bright spot for Apple. Remember, revenue jumped almost 30% to a record $9 billion in Apple's fiscal fourth quarter. Back to you all.
And Josh, we've been focusing on Apple and its share price, but it's obviously worth keeping an eye on Intel, which is not selling off on this announcement because it was widely anticipated, but has been having a pretty horrible year. I mean, does this just kind of kick the dog when he's down? Because it basically is a splashy way of Apple saying, we're making our own chips and we're not using theirs anymore.
Yeah, so if you speak to analysts, Kelly, who cover Intel, what they'll say is that Apple isn't critical for Intel at this point, but it's not trivial either. It's not insignificant. I've talked to some analysts who say, by their math, Apple probably represents roughly mid-single digits of Intel total revenue. So over time now, that is revenue that's not going to be flowing to Bob Swan's company at a time, as you suggested, that it's certainly facing a lot of challenges.
Hey, Josh, we were talking this morning. This announcement from a technical perspective is huge, and there was a lot of curiosity around what kind of performance claims Apple was going to make and then what the pricing would be. It seems like Apple leaned way into this. The price came down on the Mac Mini, but largely they're holding the line on pricing on these laptops, and they are claiming, particularly on this MacBook Pro, that you're going to get the kind of performance that we've never seen out of an ARM-based laptop, right?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I was talking to Ben Beharin of Creative Strategies, longtime Apple watcher, and he noted two potential risks here. One is you've really got to get developers excited. You saw Tim Cook and other execs like Craig Federighi on stage talking about that. They need those developers to be enthusiastic, convince them to put money, time, and effort into building new apps. But also Ben's point was, listen, there were a lot of claims made today, but certainly now you're going to see industry analysts take these machines out for a test drive, consumers as well. And Ben's point is they better live up to those claims. They have to be on par or better than those Intel and AMD-powered machines like the ones we know from HP, Dell, Lenovo, and Microsoft.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.